Hello and welcome to Thursday Thyroid Talks with me, your host, Coach Sarah Joy. Give it just 1 second. Well, Instagram lets everyone know we're on. So excited for today's episode, everyone. I can't wait for you to meet my guest. So just bear with me. Instagram, hang on, we're telling your followers to join your video. Thank you, Instagram. There you are. Okay, fantastic. All right, let's dive in, you guys. I can't wait for you to meet my guest today. His name is Anthony Rivest. I hope I'm saying that right, Anthony, sorry. But before I bring him on, I wanna tell you some things about Anthony that I found so interesting. So Anthony is a personal transformation expert. I mean, isn't that title alone like just super cool? He has thousands of hours of experience coaching clients one-on-one on how to clarify their purpose. He also helps his clients design a life that lights them up, and he teaches them how to bridge the gap from their current situation. He has been studying human behaviors and the role of emotions in becoming our authentic selves for over 16 years. Anthony conquered drug addiction back in 2016 by understanding the feedback that his body was giving him. After a near-death experience, he left his job that he was really unhappy with, and he took a year off to get his health back under control, and then decided to go after his dreams. He is fascinated by the mind-body connection and knows very well that all symptoms are here to teach us something. I love that. If you experience emotions like anxiety, depression, guilt, or shame on a regular basis, he believes that you have the power to change your perception to look at any situation with new eyes. Let's put our hands together for Anthony Rivest. All right, sweetheart, I'm bringing you on. Okay, any second now. There it goes. Hello, lovely.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you guys. Hello there.
Hello, thank you so much for being here. The camera always like zooms in when I bring someone on. I don't know why. So let me scoot it back. There we go. Anthony, I'm so excited to learn more about you and dive in. Oh my gosh, when I was reading your bio, I was like, wow, I am so intrigued by you.
So many things to speak about today. I'm very happy to be here. Just so you know, it's my first Instagram live ever. So,
oh, yay.
We'll be just transparent. I was a bit nervous, but I know it's for a good reason. I have a good vision,
yes.
Good to speak about.
So I'm having a hard time hearing you. Could you just get a little closer, maybe a little louder, speak a little louder? It's like, I can see you fine. It just needs to be a little louder. That's all.
Now is it better?
A little bit. You're getting some love from everyone. Hey, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to have Anthony. My gosh. Yeah. So you know what? It's totally normal to be nervous on an Instagram live, you guys. It's kind of nerve-wracking to come on live, you know? So you know what? Don't worry. Just take a deep breath and just shower us with all of your amazing knowledge. So why don't you start at the beginning? I mean, my gosh, you've been through so much. I'm like, where should we start? Why don't you tell us about, well, you know, start wherever you want, but why don't you go into overcoming your drug addiction in 2016?
Yeah, I think that's the first story that everybody has to hear if they want to be like, who's this guy? Why he's doing what he's doing? Sound is okay now?
I tried to turn my volume up. I'm like, it's a little quiet still. Yeah. Can you guys hear him okay? I just want to make sure like everyone can hear him, or is it just me? I could put my headset on if I need to.
Well, because for me, my phone is on a little iPhone holder, so maybe it's blocking the microphone. I'm not sure.
Maybe a little bit. Can you guys all hear him okay?
I'll try something else. 1 second.
Yeah, maybe put your headphones on really fast. I don't want to miss a single detail of this story, okay? There you go. That'll be good. Thank you guys for your patience. 1 second.
Now it's better.
Oh, so much better. Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
now.
thank you.
Okay. So now I just have to. So maybe I will be on this side. Does it look stupid if it's on this side or?
Oh yeah, it's sideways.
Ah, damn it.
I know.
Sorry
You
guys,
might
it's
just
just
have
a
to hold
tech.
it.
Tech.
Hi
Yeah, but
everyone. Thank you for
you know
being
what?
here. We're trying to
Let
just
me
work out some
let me hold
technical.
it. Let me hold it. I don't. I'm not gonna sit anyway. Let's be standing up. Okay.
Okay, get
So
some exercise while you tell us
now
your
now
story.
it's clear. Now it's sound is good.
Yeah, good. Thank
Good.
you.
Okay. So let's go back in 2016. How everything started. So
Yeah.
I was a salesman back in the days. I was selling insurance door to door, um, and I didn't like this job whatsoever. When I first started, I thought, oh yeah, I want to make money. It's a commission. It will be interesting. And to be honest, I learned a lot from this experience just to grow as a man in confidence, facing rejection. But my body was telling me, Anthony, this is not for you. And I even remember like my teammates were telling me, Anthony, you're connecting too much with the clients and you're not going for the sales enough. So first, maybe red flag for me because I'm this kind of guy. Like I like to connect with people. I like to go deep on topics. So I was taking drugs recreationally for fun from 2013 to 2016, but then there was a time it became not for fun anymore.
How old were
And
you? Like,
I was 26. So the big turnaround, the near death experience was in 2016.
okay.
Um, so some of my friends will be aware of this story maybe, but not maybe as in the details as much. So July or August, summer 2016. Um, I was taking drugs for a couple days and just my heart started to pound in my chest. I was emptying the dishwasher and I was like, this is not normal. Something is not right. And I thought I was having a heart attack and I was only 26. But you know, heart attack and panic attack have very similar symptoms.
Mhm.
So I could not feel my face. I could not feel my body. I was screaming. I was calling my grandmother, Grandma, I don't want to die. I'm too young to die. And I have still goosebumps telling this story. So they
Mhm.
took me to the hospital, and then the nurse, she told me, I always remember the sentence. She said, Anthony, you only have one heart, so take care of it. And since that time, I wouldn't say I never took drug again, but it took me a year to start mixed martial arts, to train almost full time. I was not working so much at the time. I had like no desire to work like a paying job really. Um, but I was training. I wanted to have new friends and get my health back together. And I also split with my ex at the time, so it was like a new beginning, a rebirth for me. Just to who am I as a man? What do I want? Who am I in this world?
So
And
hang on, back
yeah,
up. Did you have
sure.
a heart attack? What did the hospital say
No,
was going on?
no, the heart was fine. There was
Okay.
nothing, no problem. So it was just it was a panic attack, a very high level panic attack. Like just I could not feel my full body. My face was tingling and just it was yeah. So it was not a good experience. But the turning point between the old Anthony, which is maybe depressed or lying to people like, oh, I will do this, hiding in the room, to Anthony, what's your next mission? What do you want to achieve in life? And you know what is the paradox is I was not raised in a hard like childhood family. My parents are amazing. I have siblings, just lovely. I was raised in personal development books and all that stuff. So like, oh, Anthony, why?
Mhm.
I was searching the feeling of feeling alive because I was feeling dead working this job. So okay, how can I feel a high to feel alive? But then people can relate to that maybe. When you seek a quick high, of course there's always a low, but the real natural high will come when you will find your purpose, when you will find what is your life mission, what is your big message to the world. And this can take some time to discover for anybody. And that's why with my coaching, I'm really focusing on, okay, if you don't like your job, what can we do to help you bring the best out of you and to stop being afraid to go after what you want? Because everybody has some buried dreams, some crazy dreams or ambitious. And, well, I'm not this kind of person. Or I should not speak too loud. I should not go out there. This is not true. This is not true. You have to start somewhere, yeah? So stop the drugs, train martial arts, but then a second
What
injury.
What made
Yeah.
you get into martial arts? Was that something that you'd always
It's a
wanted?
synchronicity. You will, it's incredible. So the
Okay.
rehab center was in front of a MMA gym.
Oh,
So
cool.
there's like a sign of God, just like Anthony, just go knock at the door and just sign up. I signed up for the year, and I was there every day, twice a day. I became friend with the trainers, and actually, so leading to the other brain trauma. So I had then an injury maybe a year after that. I was training for my first amateur fight, and I got knocked out in training. So a second fallback, and during my training, during my concussion recovery, I was coming to the gym just to teach and to coach. And even if I was a beginner, I was getting known to, oh, Anthony, he's helping the new ones just so naturally for free, just to help the teacher there. So this love of teaching came actually from this part. I was already coaching a bit at the time, but mostly it was more physical. And then using all my years of experience studying books and coaching on myself and having mentors, because even in the hard times I was still working on myself. It was a never ending journey, but then it became more serious. And so after MMA to where I am right now, so I will wrap this up now for the personal story. I met my wife online. I was learning languages, so I was learning Russian at the time, and she was learning English. We met on an online learning language platform called italki. I discovered Georgia, which maybe people say, oh, it's in the States, USA, Georgia. No, the little country under Russia. It's a little gem of a country. And I moved here 4 years ago. And I came here with no money. I didn't know the language, just in the hope of finding love. So it was very, very
Mhm.
courageous, very ballsy. But I had this vision, and I told you this in our first call. I had this vision like, I'm gonna marry this girl. I had a visual, like I was in church, I was seeing myself with this girl. I had tears of inspiration. My parents had tears of inspiration. They said, "Can you go for it?" And now 4 years later, I'm here in Georgia with my wife. I have a 1-year-old daughter. We bought an apartment. My business is going well. I'm going to expand with many projects now. So all came from the idea of having a vision. But first, if you don't listen to yourself, all of this is impossible. If you repress your feelings, if you repress your anxiety, depression, and we can cover this in a few minutes, if you repress all the feelings, then you will just sleep through your life. And I don't think that's how people want to live. And I hope to change that. Not like alone, but I need a team for that, of course. But I think it's going to take some time. But with the right army of people, then everything is possible. You know.
Wow,
So
I
that's
love
my
that.
personal story. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I love how you went from numbing and masking to a life-changing moment, and now boom, it's like everything, all of it. I call it the divine chessboard. The divine chess pieces all just came into play. I love that. Okay, so I'm like, where do I want to dive in first? If you guys have any questions or any comments, feel free to jump in. So that last sentence you said of um, if you're, well, okay, so it's the last sentence in your bio, actually. I love, so let's start here. You said, if you experience emotions of anxiety, depression, guilt, or shame on a regular basis, then you have the power to change your perception to look at any situation in a new set of eyes. And I personally resonate with that because a lot of the things that I had to do on my health recovery was that shift of perception, shift of perception. And one of the things that I know my community struggles with, which I really struggled with too, was the what if game. Do you know the what if game? So
Tell me more about it.
it's like it's like all the scary what ifs. I mean, I've heard so many different variations, but for me personally, it was like, what if I go to the store and I pass out
Mm,
and it's really embarrassing? Or,
yeah.
what if, and they're always like doomsday thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
what if this happens? And I'm hearing a lot of this from moms, like worrying over their kids, like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And it really, like you said, um, they're experiencing a lot of the like heart attack feelings because
Hmm.
they're so in their head with the
Yeah,
what if thoughts, the scary what if thoughts, that it's bringing on the heart palpitations, and they go
absolutely.
to the ER and they
Hmm.
get same thing. So when you said that, I was like, oh, a lot of people resonate with that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about shifting your perception, because I teach, like, let's shift that what if game into a positive game. Like, what if you don't have anxiety today? What if nothing bad happens today? What if you're okay? What if you have a great day instead?
Yeah.
You know? So,
Yeah. Well, first thing first, I would say don't try to fly away from the negative emotions because they can teach you something. And I really believe that we're both positive and negative human beings. There's nobody that's just only positive or only negative. That's an illusion. And if you look back at every moment in your life, even in the most traumatic place, you can see blessing, and the most terrific, happy place, you can see drawbacks. So that's coming from my mentor, Dr. John DeMartini, and I always give him credit for that because life is like there's this duality. It's always there around us. And when you stop to judge something as good or bad, and you can see, okay, what's the hidden side behind that? Then you gain this wisdom to see things differently, and you can grow much faster in this way. So, for example, let's say somebody's depressed for 2 weeks, and of course, now disclaimer: I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychotherapist, so I cannot heal you. I'm just giving my own perspective and what I learned from books. For example, let's say you have depressive symptoms. Well, first of all, you are comparing yourself or your reality to somebody else's or to a fantasy that you think your life should be.
mm,
Okay, and I can be an example of that. Let's say today. For me, today was a hard day. My baby's rejecting me. I was doing home chores. I wanted to work. I could not. So in your mind, you have this fantasy. Oh, my day should be different. My day should be more focused on work. I should have more money. My kids should love me. But all these should, they're not the reality. Otherwise, it will be your reality. So if the universe wants you to live this experience, it's there to teach you something. And when you feel something negative, often it's to make you set boundaries and realize, okay, what do I want and what do I not want anymore? Because sometimes we're used to be like people pleaser and yes, I will do this. We overcommit. We give many yes to everybody, and then, damn, I'm tired. I want time for myself. I want to chill, or I want to go into nature. I want to write a book. I want to do something else. I want to listen to music or connect with amazing people. So these depressive symptoms are actually there to wake you up to what you truly want, you know? And if you compare your past, let's say, oh, well, when I was with my ex, or when I was when my family, life was better. I missed that time. While you're unaware of the negative of that time, and you think everything was positive, but it was not the case. So a quick thing you can do is just start to think, okay, if my life would be like it was in the past, or how I want it to be in the future with this ideal perfect scenario, what would be the downside to my life right now? So never assume that any situation is only good or only bad. This is very so black and white mentality is gonna make you age faster. It will make you tired. You will be in the extremes, and in these days and age, like it's so easy to go in the extreme with the politics and economics and extreme right, extreme left. Find your own center, find your own middle ground and middle path, and you will find, way more energy, way more stability. There will be less highs and lows, and you'll be way more stable. So anxiety, depression, you're imagining something that is not real. So start by embracing what is there in the present. And I know it can be hard in this, like, oh my God, so much stimulation with social media like right now, like thanks to everybody watching this live. But if you were watching, if you were scrolling for 10 minutes before this live, do you know how much dopamine is released in your brain when you're doing this? it's the same as a slot machine in the casino. Very addictive. So be very careful which media you consume and in which quantity and how you feed your mind. I don't watch any news. Today I learned that Boris Johnson is giving his resignation. I learned it from my client. I didn't know about this because I'm disconnected from, it's a selective disconnection from mass media because I know they will try to feed me negativity in this case, a fear-based mentality, and my mind is too precious to let all this BS enter my consciousness, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
What
do
do you
that
think
same
about this?
thing.
Yeah.
I call it an energy leak.
Mm-hmm.
Paying attention to the world is an energy leak because it robs my present moment of my happiness in my life right then with my daughter or with my family or with my garden or with my walk, you know, and it robs my energy and it puts me, like you said, into the fear, worry, and it's so easy to look at the outside news and then project that on yourself of like, you know, oh my gosh, like look what's going on in the world, and you know, now I'm not going to have money. Now I may lose my job, and you start actually manifesting all of these bad things into your life as you focus on that. So I'm the same way. Like all these revolutionary things are happening with the Supreme Court. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, my friends just tell me, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
interesting. You know, so sometimes I get tempted to see what's going on, and then I go, why did I do that?
It's a trap. Don't fall into the trap.
Yeah.
COVID stuff and like economic crisis. I'm not saying it's not true. It's true. But if you focus only on that, you will drain yourself. And I remember 2 years ago, in the middle of COVID, I was walking in the street and I was so depressed. I'm like, why would I even want a child in this world? And this is like a horrible thing to say when like now I'm a father and I love my daughter, even if it's difficult first year, of course, many new challenges. But to think I don't want children because this world is so crazy, then you let the people in charge decide for you what is in your future. And I think that's very sad.
I'm
Like
actually
you,
glad you
yeah,
said that. I've actually heard a lot of women say that they might not have a baby because of the world. And I agree with that. How sad.
yeah.
Yeah.
So create your world, you know, like I really believe that everybody, so if everybody start to share their greatest gift, and that's when we'll make my podcast soon, and this will be the theme of the podcast, to share your greatest gift for the world. What is your unique message? If I can teach and everybody or facilitators, other people can teach, other coaches can teach, even in educational system, I would say, I think school needs a big reform, but that's for a different topic, a different time. If teachers, mentors, parents can start to help kids to focus on their potential really young. And this, I'm not saying like to not study all the other courses, just, okay, he's good in maths, he's good more in sports. Oh, he has ADD, he's not listening in class. His intelligence and is something else. And we try to medicate it to make it calm, make him calm or her calm. But you're just hiding the genius that is asking to be revealed, you know?
Yeah. Yep. You're
So,
squashing
yeah,
or medicating their superpower.
yeah.
Yep. I
And
loved
I
what you
tried
said.
medication, by the way. I tried medication, self-diagnosed just for a while because I was good in school. But then some years I was, oh man, I think I may have some symptoms. Went to the doc, tried some meds. I felt like a robot, or I felt aggressive. I was not myself. And I think anybody who took amphetamines for a while can confirm that you're not the same person before and after. It's creating huge gaps in your mood. And yes, you're focused, but are you focused on what you want to learn, you want to do? Okay, I'm gonna go and write an essay. Yeah, but if it's
Mhm.
not the right major for you in university, then why are you doing this? And
Yeah.
now I don't even take coffee anymore because I realize where's my natural energy? What do I want to do? Then I go and do it. And if I'm tired, it means I worked enough for now, and I can go take a nap 20 minutes and come back and have idea, more creativity. And it's hard, you know. I was a big coffee fan for 12 years, I think, or 11 years. And now very recently I decided it's enough. My body was telling me, Anthony, don't need this anymore. So maybe some people online can attest with that. Oh, I love my coffee, man. I need it in the morning. I challenge you to try and go 1 week without your morning coffee. You will feel horrible. But when you're closer to your mission and what you want to do, then my energy is more stable throughout the day. Now it's for me it's almost 9:30 or almost 10 p.m. And you know what? I feel the same as in the morning. Why is that? I didn't have any dips in energy of cortisol, dopamine, norepinephrine, everything coming up and down in my body. I just ate healthy, drank water, went for a walk, and here I am. And I had 4 hours of Skype before you, and I'm fine, you know. So maybe some people can experiment with that little challenge. By the way, good book for you guys. Good book, Caffeine Blues by Dr. Stephen Chernisky. He has a hard name, but the Caffeine Blues. It's a very good book if you want to see like, oh, what is the reality behind caffeine? And I'm not saying you should stop forever, but maybe you can drop to once or twice a week, or just experiment for a while and see how you feel. But yeah, it's a big industry, and I'm trying to get away from it. So just a little side note.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because that actually is a big deal with the women in my community, because they're so tired. They have so much fatigue that they get stuck in the caffeine loop, and they do. And it's easy when you're tired to turn to that, and you're still expected to take care of your family and your kids and work and clean and do all of the things. But you're lacking energy. And I had my acupuncturist put it to me best one time, of how she said, when you live on caffeine, it puts you into negative energy. And you're
it's
like,
a debt.
It puts you into a debt of energy. But yeah, we could go into that another time. I want to go back to what you said. You said something so profound about depression and about feeling your anxiety, about feeling your depression, and how you basically encouraged everyone that feels this way to be with it, to be in a, like, feel your depression. And so I wanted to share my experience with you and see if this is what you mean. So one of the things, I've been doing a lot of energy work and a lot of healing on myself the past couple of years. And one of the things that I've had to confront is what I call my bitch brain. Do you know what I mean? Like the sabotaging, it's the sabotaging thoughts in your head, that the ones that always want to tear you down, right? I call her my bitch brain, because she's mean to me, right?
Yeah.
So I learned from my spiritual coach to actually start talking to her. And I never thought about this before. And so it reminded me of what you said, to like be with these feelings, you know? So I started experimenting and talking to my bitch brain. And so when she was coming through and saying, oh my gosh, she says so many mean things, you know, like, you're a bad coach, or you're, you know, like so many horrible things. And so now, instead of like just allowing the thoughts to kind of flow, like, we're not taught to confront the thoughts. So now I actually say, why are you saying that to me? Like, I confront her and I'm like, why would you say that? Why would you think that? You know, is that really true? And I like question her and I confront her. And what I've learned is, through a lot of very, very deep meditations, is that what I call my bitch brain is really a wounded part of me. It's like, it's like my wounded teenager, or my wounded young adult, or, you know, or actually it's usually like the part of me that's trying to keep me safe, that's trying to protect me. But really, she says terrible, mean things to me, but it's out of protection or something. So I was wondering if you could speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, the bitch brain, that's a very good point. So our negative self-talk, when you feel like, oh, I'm a loser, I'm horrible, I will never be able to do this, I'm not a good father, I'm not a good mother, all of this again comes back to, who are you comparing you with? Once again, is it an old version of you? Is it idealized version of you in the future? Is it another businesswoman or businessman that you fantasize, that you think, oh, my life would be better if it was the same? Well, for example, you and I, we are in the Grant Cardone's coaching program, 10x. And many times I can compare myself to Grant and say, well, when he had his first child, he got his shit together. Wow, first year, like he just was waking up, went for a walk with his daughter. Elena was staying at home, and then he came back and Elena was taking over. I'm working in this bedroom here, full day, and the other side is a living room, a one bathroom, one living room studio. And if there's something, baby cries, I'm one door away from going to rescue my wife. So it's not an excuse to not build my business, but the challenge of building a business and being a father the same year, the first year, is just so brutal. And I'm like, how Grant did it. I'm jealous. I'm not good enough. I wish I was making more money, and I was judging myself to not put more time on content creation, which like I'm starting just now, content creation. A whole year I was just teaching and coaching normally. But so when you feel those negative thoughts, listen to them, realize they're not true, and see it more. This is more maybe Eastern philosophy, like see it as a cloud. It's transient, it's temporary, it's passing. And if you meditate and you look at it, I'm a failure, just like a cloud. It's going. If you feel something about the thought, it means you're still attached to it, and you can actually, well, I cannot teach about this like right now, but you can find a way to disconnect yourself from the thought and realize it's only a part of me that is reflecting right now, just like a mirror, a self-judgment that is not my true self. Because your true self is very powerful. It's a true leader. It's centered. It has amazing creativity, amazing energy. And it doesn't compare himself or herself with anybody else in the world. Because the truth is yes, there's competition in the world, but if you're truly on your path, then competition becomes meaningless. Even maybe people will start to want to copy you and imitate you it's a compliment. If people start to, oh man, I want to be like Anthony, I want to be like Sarah. Well, don't take it like, oh, the competition is so fierce. It's because you're number one at what you're doing and you're doing the right thing. But if you try to be somebody else, if you try to copy somebody else's methods or way of doing things, then you will start to hear, I suck, I'm bad, why am I so lazy, why am I procrastinating so much? Because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It sounds so simple. Yeah, I know maybe it's not good marketing, but if like, how can you sell that? Just stop comparing yourself with others and just start asking yourself questions, quality questions. What do I really want? And why do I want it? And go deep, 5, 7, 10 layers of depth. Why? Why? This is from Grant too. Why? Once you will hit the big why, your whole body will feel it. And like, oh, if this is my big why, then the pain of not taking action on that is bigger than the pain of taking action. I repeat that. The pain of not taking action will be bigger than the pain of taking action and go for the challenges and find the answers and find the resources and find the people. Even if it's hard, you will be unstoppable, relentless. And that's what I'm striving for.
Me too. I always have to go after my purpose every day. Otherwise it haunts me. It haunts me because I know what I should be doing. And if I'm not in alignment with that, it's like, hey, Sarah, hello, get back on track. So I love that. I love that analogy of like, it's a cloud and just let it flow by and like, see it pass by and don't believe it. Don't believe the mean things. Yeah.
And don't believe the good things too, Sarah. Don't believe it too, but I cut you just, if you believe the good things about you so much, then you will be stuck in your ego and you will be on a pedestal and the universe will bring you down one day or the other. So just criticism and praise are both phantoms, ghosts, illusions. You can hear them, you can see them, but you should remain in the middle. Don't get distracted by, oh my God, Sarah, your show is just so amazing. You're the best in the world right now. But you know you have so much more to do to get where you want to be. Yeah? I can say I'm a good coach. but I'm also aware I don't have any online presence yet, and I'm working on that. So I will not be in my arrogant mood like I can coach anybody on anything. No, I'm learning about everything that I want to learn every day from the best in the world, and I'm staying unique, and I stay true to myself. But this is very difficult. It takes
Yeah.
many years, you know.
Yeah. I love that. So speaking of purpose, I'd actually really like to go into this. There is there is a question that I have on my intake form for all of my clients, and it simply says, "Do you have a purpose in life?" And it's
Hmm.
really sad to find out that majority of them say no.
Yeah.
And not only do they feel like they don't have a purpose, it actually, that not having the purpose, that haunts them. It makes them feel like they're less than, or they have low self-esteem. And I had I had a really beautiful revelation one time in one of my meditations about the purpose of women. And I put this message out there, but I think it's really hard. So I just wanted to share this with you and then turn it over to you. I women in particular are meant for such crucial and important things here on this earth, just within our womanhood, within our motherhood, within being an aunt, within being a grandma, and our presence with people in our life, like our family or our friends. And I was shown that women have such a sacred purpose to to keep their communities together, to keep their towns together, to keep their churches together, to keep their families together. And what a beautiful sacred ordinance like has been bestowed upon women just as a woman. But I think right now that that's been taken from us, and a lot of women don't realize the importance of just being a mom. And you know, we're expected to work and stretch ourselves so thin that maybe, you know, we lack. And so I love teaching my clients, like, even if you may not have your exact purpose of what you're meant to do right now, just being who you are, just being a mom, just being a wife, being a friend, being on the PTA of your school board, or being on the baseball team, helping your coach, coach the baseball team. Like, these purposes matter.
Absolutely.
Even though they feel small, they're not.
No.
So.
There's no little purpose. I really believe that if you compare your purpose with somebody else, again, you're not acting on priority actions. You know, it's like if you would say to, let's say, the Kennedy family, if their mother was thinking, oh, I should be a businesswoman, or I should be the president, but her real purpose was to have child who will be great leaders of the world. Or any big families that you think, okay, well, the parents, maybe they're not as known as the children, but they made amazing things. And you know what? I can actually speak about my own parents, because we're four kids, so me, my two sisters, and a brother, and I truly believe that everybody is going for their unique path. And I'm the big brother, I'm the oldest one. And my parents, they had a very conservative life. They still have so much potential, but they sacrificed everything for the kids, because their purpose was to raise an amazing family of inspired kids going after their dreams. And they give us everything to make it possible, especially through education and love at home. And they're still together today. And you know what? Like, I cannot compare my family with other family exactly, but when people meet my parents and are vibe with the siblings, they say, like, oh my God, the Rive, so Rive is my Bastien Rive. Okay. Bastien Rive family, such a beautiful family. They love each other, they interact, they have ideas, they have amazing dinner together. Father is making jokes, mom is there and she's laughing too, and just this synergy. So that's a purpose. It counts as much as other purposes. If you love to fix cars and be the absolute machine best killer in that, you know? If you want to do nails and hair and just bring beauty to the world, go and do that. And don't judge it, oh, but I should do more. Just do what is that you love. And of course, you can become even better over time. And don't be stuck, oh, I can only make 50,000 a year doing that. That's an illusion, that's a lie. Because if you're great at something, you can find a way to leverage yourself. You can have salon, you can have other people, other chairs with, like, possibilities are endless. But we're so stuck in thinking, oh, well, here's my path. Okay, I'm gonna go for this corporate job, the 80,000 a year, even if it's 100 or more per year. People can say that's it. What else? And they will feel like this feeling of being drained, or this apathy or boredom will kick in eventually, because they will not feel as driven anymore. Like when you start a new job and a year after or 2 years after, like, you know what? It's not the same spark anymore. I don't feel this little oomph that was getting me going in the morning now. That's the time. It's time to change. It's a sign from your body and from life. Like if you wake up in the morning, you're like, what am I doing here? Don't suffer in silence. Take charge, take responsibility for yourself, and go and decide. It doesn't have to be instantaneous. It can take some time to build a transition, but start to think about it. Okay, I'm a software engineer. I want to become entrepreneur. I want to go and build a house. That's a gap to to think about, yeah? But if you start tomorrow and you say, okay, do I know one person in construction that can help me go and move forward? Can I follow one course online? Can I go and network somewhere? Can I go and walk in neighborhoods and speak to people? And never be afraid to ask people for help. Never be afraid to ask people for partnership and collaborations if you have something valuable to bring to the table. So, other big principle today, the fair exchange principle. Always give what you want to receive. And if you do that, if you have in mind, okay, I have this value to give, today, Sarah and you, we're exchanging this value. We're creating content for people, but I win, you win, they win. If you would be a criminal, it's just, I'm taking from you. I'm stealing from you. I'm just taking without giving. And those people, usually, they don't have a real success. Maybe they will make a quick money, get rich quick. They will make a couple millions, maybe even scammers. But then they get bust out and they go to jail, and that's not a good path, you know? So why I went to this tangent, I forgot. What was the original question?
Anthony, you have a really good question in the comments. Can you see it?
What do you say about having talents yet not feeling inspired by them? It feels like they are a mission and I'm rejecting them. What do you say about having talents yet not feeling inspired by them? Very good question. Can I have an example of this in my own life? Well, okay, I'm good with languages, so I'm a French and English teacher. I love languages, but it doesn't appeal to me as much as coaching that I'm doing now. So you don't have to monetize all your talents. I don't think that's true. I think you can, if you're good at something, it doesn't mean it needs to become a business. Some people can decide, oh, I'm gonna paint, but I don't want it to become my full life. I feel like it will lose its special spark. I think it's Maureen, Fireside Genealogy. If it's Maureen, can you tell me what is this talent that you speak about? Let's have a specific example. Maybe it will guide me to answer you better.
Well, and she also says she's rejecting them. So my question is,
talent.
Why are you pushing your talent away? What is it about the talent you reject?
Are you afraid, Maureen, of something? Tell us if you can speak to us. It's good. I really believe like those talents are not there by accident. So if you know it's a talent and people are telling you you're amazing at that, but you feel afraid or like, this is not for me. Let's go and ask why. Is there original trauma about this? Is there original rejection in maybe teenage years or something? People laugh at you. It's a very good question. I don't know.
So
if she can,
while we wait for her to answer, it says it's because exhausting being in business and finance.
It became exhausting.
It became exhausting.
So are the talents in business and finance, or just it became exhausting to do that as a business? I think it's very different. Because if you're in business and then you don't have time for your talent, so like I'm exhausted, but I would like to do something else. Being in business and finance. So you're good in that, but you don't want to do it anymore. I think that's what she meant. Yeah. That happens to many people. They can go to school, they're, oh man, I'm so good in sciences, and then like, whoa, 5 years, 10 years later, oh, I'm drained. That's not for me anymore. So I would say in this case, be grateful for the gift. And if, yeah, talented in business and like, yes, burned out, good, gotcha. Um, Listen to your body. I think this is the main thing here is if you keep ignoring and you feel burnt out, it's a time to leave gradually. Don't quit overnight. Don't be foolish and just, oh, Anthony told me to do this and I'm going to quit and leave my family in a financial like, difficult situation. But start to think like, what is next for me? What would I really love to do? If I do something and it gives me energy, you're on the right path. And sometimes it's not what you expected, and maybe you will judge yourself that you love doing that. But I'm here to tell you, don't judge it because you never know where it can lead you. So if you're good in finance and accounting and business, but you're tired of it, okay, look at it. First thing, what did I learn from all these years of experience that's going to help me to move to the next career? Because I don't think she's like, even if you would be 70, 80, 90-year old, I think as long as you live, you still have something to offer to the world. And of course, like okay, if you're like almost dying, time with the family, but that's not what I'm speaking about. If you feel burnt out, it's your body telling you something that you need to reflect.
Can I jump in on there?
Sure, go.
So, as a business owner and a coach, one of the things that I have to be very, very careful with my energy and with my time and with my boundaries. Otherwise, I could easily go into burnout because,
Mm-hmm.
like she was sharing, I love what I do, but when we overgive, no matter what it is, we're going to go into that debt and that negative energy, which leads to burnout. So for me, and I would say for her, the number one thing that you need, like you could look at is like your boundaries and where do you need to set some new boundaries? Like maybe the amount of hours you allow yourself to work every day, maybe the amount of messages you allow yourself to respond to, a lot of emails you allow yourself to respond to, and if you need to outsource, then maybe consider outsourcing so that
Mm-hmm.
not all of your energy is being absorbed. Who can help you? Who can you
Absolutely.
bring on board to help like with those boundaries, and you can delegate some tasks away. But one of the things that I feel like is really important for all of us to realize is, because we work in this rat race and we're just expected to work, 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 work. And then we just get so tired and we live for the weekends, and then the weekends are gone so fast. They come and go so fast. And then we're just still tired. So one of the things that when I started recovering my hypothyroidism and my Hashimoto's, I had to start looking at where am I going to fill up my cup every day and
Mm,
refilling my energy.
absolutely.
Because we give as moms, we give as wives, we give as businesswomen, we give, but how do we refuel? So for me, this is where a morning meditation practice, a morning prayer
Mm-hmm.
practice, a morning journaling practice, and honestly, the best thing that refills my cup the fastest is speaking
Mm-hmm.
out gratitude and what I'm grateful for. And so I always allow 30 minutes in the morning to focus on me. If I don't know what I'm going to do that morning, that's where you just start saying, what am I grateful for?
Mm-hmm.
And I know it sounds so cliche, and you're like, well, how can that help me with my business or my accounting or my bookkeeping or, whatever like job you're in? But it raises your vibrations, your energy into that happy state. And you'd be surprised at how when you feel happier in your heart, you have more energy to give in your life. So that would be my suggestion, is trying to find a daily practice in the morning and evening, or morning or evening, where you can focus on you and you can shave your legs in the bath and put a face mask on and then rest, or, do something for you so that you can turn around and give back the next day.
That's so beautiful. I'm a big fan of gratitude. I think I lost this habit for a while and I started again, not recently, but like more consistently. I was writing in the past. I have journals like millions of words, like literally millions of words, hundreds of thousands, millions. And if you go back to this journal, you realize, oh, you realize that it's there's some patterns coming in this gratitude, and the manifestation will come. And I know that you had a good example of that. You told me in the other call, like, if you were in gratitude for 3 days and then you manifested some money. Well, sometimes when I feel more tired, I take 15 minutes and I really go in this grateful place too. And it's making a difference. So if you feel burnt out, it can be that you're not appreciating so much your environment. Because, okay, if you want to leave, first thing first, still appreciate where you are. Because it's very difficult to go somewhere else if you resent where you're right now, because then you will just bring your problem with you to the next place in different circumstances. You say, oh, I'm going to move to Italy and have a new life, a new job. If you dislike your job in USA and you go to Europe, I'm telling you, it will follow you in a different form. So better to clear your things first and start appreciating what you have right now and get this energy from this place, and then you can move forward, you know?
Yeah.
But it's all connected. And this morning ritual, you're so right. Morning ritual, so important. Gratitude, fill your cup. If I skip my morning time and my baby's waking up, it's not the same day. If I wake up at the same time as her and I don't have time for myself, it's just going to be a very different day than if I had time to do gratitude, meditation, breathing exercise, yoga. Working out is a bit later in the day, but all the thing for yourself. One of my friends, he gave me this analogy. If you see time like money and you save 10 to 20% of your hours for yourself, like you do for your business or for your personal income, imagine that you are awake 16 hours a day and you spend an hour and a half to 3 hours just for yourself every day. Imagine the difference over years compared to just waking up and being already in the movement and just going crazy and just in the rush all the time. Yeah. So stop, breathe. I'm all for massive action, but I'm also for self-care to be able to take those massive action, because otherwise you will go nowhere. You can be busy without working on the business. Just like I'm moving, I'm doing something, but I'm exhausted because it's not the thing that I really want to do, you know? So good points.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. You know, especially when you have to give so much of yourself away. You know, this is like the number one thing that moms were never taught. Moms are never taught to take care of themselves. We just give, 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 give.
Yeah.
And then we
I've
end
seen my
up,
wife
yeah. And then we end up
so much.
resenting. We end up full of resentment. We're tired and we get grumpy, we get cranky. And this is, you know, because a lot of the women I work with are moms and they have to work. So it's like we have to develop a routine, develop time for you to fill your cup, set your boundaries, and once you have like your structures in place, it's amazing how much better you feel. Like you said, like you feel like you wake up on the right side of the bed instead of the
Yeah.
wrong side of the bed. Yeah. So Anthony, we're coming up on an hour, so
Wow, it went so
I'm gonna
fast.
I know, aren't these
I could
fun?
not see
I
the
feel like
time. I could not see the time on, like, because if I close the X, I'm afraid, like, I don't even know how much battery I have. Just I was trusting it would be fine. Yeah,
yeah.
it's beautiful. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great experience, and next time I will have something to hold my phone. I'll have a better phone because it's a bit tiring for the arm, but this is just how you go. It's live and there's no editing. Have to adjust.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could send you a picture of what I use. It's so much, it's just easy. It's like a
yeah, I
stand.
will. Yeah,
Yeah.
it will be very
Hi,
useful for me.
Tess. Yeah. So thank you for coming on today and sharing all of your wisdom.
My
And
pleasure.
why don't you share with everyone where they could contact you if they are interested?
Sure. So, well, first of all, my Instagram, guys, it's not yet optimized for my business, but if you want to follow me, it's gonna be active soon. I'm starting a podcast very soon. I can give you details. We can update on that It's going to be called Your Brother's Podcast. Your Brother's Podcast. Episodes are coming very soon, so I don't have some link yet, but I can show later. Otherwise, on LinkedIn is my official professional page. So just Anthony Rivest, so Rivest, my name, Anthony Rivest. It's on LinkedIn. There you can find place like about section if you want to book a discovery call with me and just connect. Otherwise, Instagram, Facebook, Anthony Rivest, the same name. So everything to my name, basically. It's very simple. No fancy business name yet, and I don't think I will have it. Just it's me. So what you see is what you get, guys. So I'm happy to contribute and help you. If you have any question, hit me up in the DM and I will be pleased to answer you and help you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I'm sure we'll be in contact again.
Absolutely. You're a guest on my show very soon. I'm telling you, I'm going to book you soon. So stay tuned. It will be amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. I look forward to it. Thank you for that opportunity.
Okay.
All right,
So
everyone. Thank you for being here.
Okay. Thank
All right.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.